Hello and welcome to the Coach's Corner, brought to you by the Endurance Lab, where you can join us, recap the week, and answer your questions from the forum. My name is Jason Flores, one of your Endurance Lab coaches, and today I'm joined by Coach Ian Murray, Mitch Dangerman, and our nutritional therapist, Andrea Cullen. But we do have a special guest today. I'm going to leave it here off in just a second, but I want to let all of you know that if you are interested in hearing more of what we're talking about today, we've got a very, very special guest. And if you have someone in mind that you'd like to hear from, definitely let us know and drop a line to coaches@endurancelab.fit. But without further ado, I'm going to pass this over to Coach Ian Murray, and he's going to let us know who's on the call with us today.
All right, thanks, Jason. So this morning we have Renee Makimaa. Renee is a brand ambassador for SOAS Racing and Base Performance. But more importantly, she's not just a brand ambassador. She's an athlete, a mom, a wife, and a nurse, and does a lot of different things in the community and is a high-level athlete. She's raced at ITU Aquabike World Championship. She's raced at USAT Nationals, and she's basically the foundation for a huge group in Key West as far as their base of positive support, because Renee is the...
Oh. Leaving us hanging.
Ian!
Yeah.
So I want to give it over to Andrea real quick, because Andrea is going to lead off with first actually let's meet Renee, and then Andrea is going to go into her rapid fire 60-minute style questioning.
60 minutes. That's quite a feet.
That's
60
torture.
minutes of rapid question. Yeah. Well, thanks.
Apparently, these people don't watch 60 Minutes, Mitch. They didn't.
Yeah. Well,
It's only been a couple years since I've done it too. So
there you go. Thanks for joining us, Renee.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I guess we've got our questions ready there, Andrea, or we could just start off.
Okay, they were just like simple, fun ones.
Yeah, we can start off with that.
And really, really quick answers. So I'll just
don't think,
start
just
shooting.
respond.
Yeah, don't think, just respond. So your favorite: swim, bike, run, eat, sleep.
Wow.
Oh, definitely eat. That's why I
nice.
swim, bike, and run so much.
Excellent. Bike brand?
Bike brand. What do you ride?
Bike brand.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a felt girl.
Felt.
Excellent.
Solid.
And because this comes up for girls all the time, bike saddle?
Ooh. I should know this right off the top of my head, but I don't remember what saddle I have. It works
just
for
works.
me.
Comfortable.
So no, Renee's just really smart on this. Her saddle's refusing to sponsor her, so therefore she's not giving any props to her.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, nice one. Power meter?
Power meter.
I don't have one.
Oh,
I
I like that.
I'm the least techie girl you will ever meet in your life. Ian knows this firsthand. If I can get my Garmin to work, I'm in good shape. So
I think that's awesome.
That was actually my next question. Training tech gadgets.
Yeah.
So just the Garmin?
Yeah, pretty much.
Was that like a 910, like a Forerunner 910? Is it old or is it new?
It's the newer version.
Nice.
I think I worked up to the 920.
Nice.
Perfect. Next question. Will Kipchoge go under 159 in his NES 159 challenge?
Absolutely.
Cool. Believer. What motivates you when the race feels tough to dig you out?
Oh, well, it's a little personal, but when I get to that point in any of my races, my heart always goes back to my mom and my stepmom, who I lost to cancer. They were very young. And I remember how strong they were in their battles. And it's a good reminder of gratitude and why I'm out there. So that's when I really start to dig deep. That's what I think about.
That's lovely.
That's great.
See, I told you she's going to ask hard questions, Renee.
That's okay.
But I think that's where our heart does go into the things that are really big and emotional when we're racing, and they remind us gratitude and go get it, girl.
Yeah.
So a lighter question. Favorite pre-race dinner?
I would say I'm grilled chicken and rice, white rice, pretty much.
And favorite
Simple.
pre-race wine?
Favorite pre-race wine.
Always Cabernet.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Pre-race breakfast.
I do usually banana, almond milk, protein about 3 hours before. Again, very simple, but
It works.
that usually gets me through. Works for me.
Unless
you have some great advice for me, I'll always take nutrition advice.
Any race superstitions or good luck charms?
I don't think I have any race superstitions. I did get in a bad bike wreck on a training ride for Ironman Florida one year. It was early morning, and ironically, I hit a black cat as it ran in front of me. So I guess the black cat superstition is real.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I have a little angel that I keep on my bike when I ride and race. So that is a little something that I always carry with me.
Oh, I carry little stones, gem crystal stones. I don't know. They just help me. This is relevant to who you're an ambassador for, I guess. So on the bike, when you're racing, food and drink, what have you got in your feed bag and in your bottle?
I have base hydro, and I always carry salt on me. I do carry some Second Surge for those times where I'm feeling a little low and I feel like I need an extra little bump. But it's mostly just the hydro on the bike.
Cool. First thing you want to eat immediately after crossing the finish line. Where do you go?
Beer.
Pardon?
Pizza and beer.
Pizza and beer. Nice. And this is why Coach Ian and Renee are friends.
There's got to be ice cream in there somewhere.
Oh, ice cream in there somewhere. Yes, ice cream in there somewhere.
Yeah, but that's after. That's after.
It's after that. Yeah. That's
The
great.
dessert. Or it could be the answer to the next question. The favorite treat food?
I am definitely salty over sweet. I will pretty much beat you up over a plate of nachos. So I'm cheese fries, nachos.
That's what I think. Nice.
My favorite.
Are you no carb, low carb, medium carb, high carb?
Depends on the day. I typically am on the low carb side, but I'm definitely not no carb.
Perfect. Meat or no meat? I'm giving all the horrible questions.
All the way. I am a meat girl. Give me the steak.
Nice.
Another reason that we know you like Ian. I think we're all on the same page here.
She likes salmon.
Oh, salmon. Yes.
Especially in Denmark.
That's right.
Especially in Denmark. Prepared in several different ways, I'd imagine.
Absolutely. And turmeric right.
There you go.
Okay, there's only 3 more to go. So strict nutrition or intuitive and flexible?
I am definitely a creature of habit. I'm pretty strict, but I definitely, it depends on if I'm in a training cycle, I'm pretty strict, but if I'm not, it's life. You have to enjoy it and allow yourself, to have fun.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, 100%.
That's a great approach.
We have a lot of female cyclists that we coach and that we're working with. So we often talk about how, and the coaches are really good to encourage that we look at where we're strongest across the month. Do you notice that there's a time when you're stronger, or do you just feel that your body is strong all the time?
Absolutely. I would, I definitely can tell about 1 week before my cycle, I have a much harder time mentally and physically pushing through. So I would say just, that 2 weeks after is when I feel strongest.
Thank you for sharing that, because a lot of the ladies feel they're fighting themselves in those moments instead of going with. And I think it's really helpful for everyone to know that we're all just human.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nobody's harder on me than me. And it's a learning process. But as I've gotten older, also, the effects are real. So you have to learn how to incorporate that into your training. It's unfortunate when a race falls during that time. I think there's not really much that you can do about that except just do your best.
Yeah, true. And on the lighter side again, one piece of helpful advice for female triathletes: a lot of your ambassadorship is promoting women in sport.
Yeah.
So if you one little nugget that experience has taught you that you feel would be helpful to those that are earlier on in the curve learning.
I would say, set goals that are realistic to you. Don't compare yourself to other people. Always be supportive of each other. And don't be hard on yourself. The triathlon is a fun, awesome journey, and you're going to have a lot of highs and a lot of lows. So that's all part of it. But just, be proud of yourself and don't be hard on yourself.
I would say for Renee, and she won't admit this, and she'll probably, because she likes to think of herself as a really tough, hardcore competitor, it's always have fun. She always has a smile on her face. I've rarely ever seen her in a race where she looks like I do when I'm racing. She's always, if someone passes her or she passes someone, she's always got that word of encouragement. She always smiles. She's definitely smiles with the crowd. She doesn't throat punch people who say you're almost done at mile 2 of the run.
Wow, I love it.
I may want to a little bit, but I don't.
Right, but she smiles. She smiles. So that's I think the other key with Renee. When you watch her race, it's just it's all happy. She's definitely having a good time even when she's not.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to go to the serious questions and the hard stuff.
Dear.
Because that's what we do on this. This is a hard-hitting news program, as you can tell. So talk to us. What exactly is a brand ambassador, and how is it different from a sponsored athlete? Because I know you're like really close to competing with Reef and Renee, but
yeah. Well, a brand ambassador is something you are invited to become a member of their team. Basically, you pay a small fee for the year to be a part of this, but you get tons of gear, support systems, nutrition, coaching, all just a unit of people to give you advice. You get discounts on major brands in the industry. It's, to me, well, it's different from being sponsored in the sense that when you're sponsored, you're a pro. They give you your gear. They support you. I'm not sponsored, so I don't know the extent of how that works entirely, but I'm definitely proud to be a brand ambassador. I met Steph, the owner of SOAS and Kona, in 2014. I did the Ironman Sports Medicine Conference and worked the med tent out in Kona. And I had been in triathlon since about 2008. And I had spent so much money trying to find the right gear for me, and nothing seemed to work. And in a triathlon magazine, I saw a little ad for SOAS. It's a women's specific triathlon gear. Mm-hmm. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna try this out. So I bought a kit and instantly fell in love with the kit. So over the next couple of years, it was all I wore. So when I met Steph, I was so excited to see all the colors and all the gear. And she asked me a bunch of questions about SOAS and what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. And she said, "Do you want to go try a kit on?" And I said, no, I know exactly what my size is. She then asked, "Would you ever be interested in being a part of Team SOAS?" And I was just floored. Of course I would. So she said, "Go online, fill out the application, and we'll get back to you." And when I got the email that said I had been accepted to the team, it was a game changer for me. I feel truly honored that I believe SOAS now has approximately 130 ambassadors around the world. They are some of the most amazing women I have ever met in my life. A huge support system. I've gotten friends that are now like family to me. And that started the whole journey for me. I met Matt Miller from Base Performance 1 year later in 2015 in Kona, and then became a part of the Base team. And again, Base holds camps in Florida. They hold training camps in Denver and Boulder. It's another team that is just filled with amazing men and women, huge support group, tons of information there, and just very, very blessed to be a part of it.
Yeah, one of the things I think that's key to highlight in this is that you have to choose them and they have to choose you at the same time. I mean, obviously that happens with sponsored athletes too, but I mean, I also know sponsored athletes who ride bikes that aren't really the bike of their sponsor or the wheels or the pedals of their sponsor, but it's got their sponsor's name on it.
Interesting.
Because they have to, but the bike doesn't actually work for them, or the pedals or the shoes or the clothes or whatnot don't actually work for them. So they have to get a specially made version of that because the standard stuff doesn't work for them, but they get paid by performance or get gear by performance. So the difference is, in Renee's case, and it's not always, but most of the people I know who are brand ambassadors, they really believe in the product. They really believe in it, and I know SOAS has done a lot for women triathletes, female triathletes, because even though some might say that Jason and I are shaped more like women than men, based on our giant sizes, the cutout kits for us just don't fit women the same way.
Yeah.
I was looking at SOAS's stuff, and one of the things that Steph has said is that most of the women's kits are just smaller versions of guy kits and pink it and shrink it, is what she says. And I do laugh at that because it is true. I mean, if you look at bib shorts, and a number of other things, they're not necessarily built for women.
Yeah.
If you look at how they're built, they're just smaller. So, and that just doesn't work real well. You guys need something designed for you. It's the same as bike geometry.
Yeah.
And that's what I know SOAS has done. So I know Renee's a big proponent of this, just to push women in sport. And I think you have a personal interest in this too, with women being accepted in sports too, don't you?
Well, I think it's important, and I have two young girls too. It's important to me that they find something that they're passionate about. It doesn't have to be what I enjoy, but my one daughter loves to run. My other daughter loves to swim.
She's fast.
She's going to be beating her. I have to just kudos to her because I'm so proud of her. She just won the first middle school cross country meet in Key West. So
I give it one more year and she beats Brad.
No doubt. She's already surpassed me. It's important, that girls have a role in this. Very, very important.
So Renee, real quick. So I've got 3 daughters, so I identify a lot with you, and 2 of them are involved in sport. But how did you get involved in triathlon? I mean, what was it that brought you to the sport?
I got involved in triathlon. I've always been a runner, and I started getting older and kind of continuously injuring myself. And
Renee turns 27 this year.
I turned what?
27 this year.
27
Yeah.
again. Yes.
Yes.
They hosted the first Key West Try down here, and it piqued my interest. So I signed up for the sprint, and I'll never, forget my little city bike that all I heard was on your left. But after that, I just absolutely fell in love with it. And obviously it got a lot more expensive after that.
So the aero bars on the city bike set you back
that was
a
it.
little
That
bit.
was really expensive. 808s on a city bike. Yeah, I can see that. 808s and a disc with aero.
I have put Renee's bike together. Let me tell you, it ain't a city bike.
It's my baby, my third baby.
Yeah, we all know how that goes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I guess some questions with the brands that you're associated with. Obviously, you have a great connection with them. I was looking through the SOAS group and kind of a real kind of personalized look as far as genders are concerned. What do you feel that they do differently? Obviously, we hear that, women are not small men. Stacey Sims is a big, proponent of that. With them, could you maybe tell our audience a little bit about what SOAS does as a brand for you and for women in general as far as a product?
Well, I think the number one thing would be the heart and soul that's put into it. Steph is just absolutely amazing and just pours everything into her brand. They're based out of San Diego. Everything is made right there. It's a small company that's grown tremendously over the last few years. Steph she wants to make sure that everything is perfect and right, and she'll do anything to make that happen for every single one of the ambassadors on the team and in her product. She believes so much in what she puts out there, and it's easy for me to just gush about it because she's so amazing and her product's so amazing. I mean, I have kits that I bought years and years and years ago that are still getting me through races and are in perfect condition. So it's a brand that's easy to support because it's absolutely amazing.
All that tells me, Renee, is you're not spending enough time in your kits training.
Well, I have to rotate through them, and I have like 200. So
Wow.
Wow.
So that's 40 days of training. I got it.
I like it.
The colors do look amazing, and that's one thing you never see. Like, I'm very small, but not Castelli small. They make me feel huge because you gotta go up a size. But like, you're almost afraid to try other kit once you have one that kind of does it. But at the same time, there's no inspiration coming from the colors. I know it shouldn't matter, but I think it does. Color affects our mood, and the SOAS stuff, I was looking at it before we came on. I wouldn't be as familiar with it here in Europe. And I was like, wow, these are super fun. And I think that must lift you when, like, not only, I mean, even the crowd that's cheering you on, when you run past in a colorful kit that's a bit different, I think it raises everybody's spirits as well as your own.
I agree. I definitely, I pick my kits by my mood.
Very nice.
And she has some beautiful kits.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look at these because they look super fun.
I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Nice. So let's go back to a little bit more serious topic because there are 24 hours in a day. You have 28 hours a day of work to do every day. Between work, kids, your husband can take care of himself, your training, everything else you got going on. You're a big member of the Key West Tri Club, big supporter of that, among other things you do in the community. How do you balance it all out, and how do you work those competing demands that exist?
Well,
I know your girls aren't active. I know your girls aren't active, and they have no activities whatsoever. And they go to school, come home, and they sit in their rooms.
Well, let's see. Today, this morning, I missed my workout. My daughter woke up sick and I'm already late for work. So how am I doing? I don't really have a secret to it. Some days I'm a rock star and some days I fail miserably. My day starts at 4:30 in the morning. I get up and do my first workout, come home, shower, get the kids ready for school, get off to work. After work, it's kind of the shuffle with the kids, trying to get my second workout in, dinner, homework, and bed. And Monday through Friday, it's pretty much just repeat. Saturdays are my long workout days. And then Sunday is my rest day. I always make sure that I have that full day off with my family. So I don't know that I ever get a good balance of it all, but I just do my best. And with age has come, I'm not as hard on myself as I used to be. So I think that plays a big role in it. If I missed a workout a couple of years ago, I would freak out. It would drive me crazy. And now I'm like, okay, just on to the next. So
That's really good.
That's a big difference for me.
So do you think that Key West sunsets on the beach with wine play a big part in your ability to cope?
150%. Have to put my toes in the sand for sure.
We can see why Ian gets so angry when he's indoors and behind snow every day at work and stuff. He gets a very
Well, we miss him at our sunsets.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you look at the science, water makes you feel better. Wine is full of resveratrol, and sunshine is full of vitamin D. So
there you go.
Who can argue it?
You figured out the equation for happiness. No, I think definitely being a very busy person with your family and then trying to mix that in with being an athlete and trying to balance that. A lot of times you can be very hard on yourself, and I think it's easy to hear someone like, oh yeah, like they can do it. But then at the same time turn around and be really hard on yourself for, let's say, missing a workout or not hitting your goals or not hitting a target or something like that. But it's really genuine to hear, and so with that, to be able to take that with us, so that I think just is a really good message.
Yeah. So we have one last question for you, Renee, and this is the one that, being that we all have those hard, bad, crappy days. When you wake up and you're like, I just don't want to do it today. I can't. It's a horrible day. What gets you off the couch or out of bed and on into your training? What's that one thing that motivates you?
The one thing that motivates me would, it probably goes right back to the conversation that we just had. When I do miss it, I don't have a space to plug it back in my week. So I guess I'm my motivator in the sense that I have, in order to stop myself from being hard on myself, just get up and do it. As soon as you put your feet on the floor, it's a game changer. You're up. It's time to get rocking and rolling. It's turning off that alarm and actually just getting up. But there are days where I just feel physically spent, and I also have learned through injury that sometimes I do need that extra couple of hours of sleep, because if one thing's lacking for me in my world, it's definitely the amount of sleep that I get. So if I'm feeling really, really rough, occasionally I will take that time.
I think that's really intuitive. A lot of people just kind of push through and that, stay with the training peak calendar, follow the schedule, listening to your body. It sounds like you've got really in touch with that. People can go from, just being very hodgepodge about their training and racing and just trying to get as much in as they can. And then they may switch over to, let's say, a coaching program like ours and kind of just be very rigorous, but finding themselves in the program or themselves in the training, I feel, is really important to kind of blend all of that together. Sounds like that you've done a great job with that as well.
Thanks. you gotta enjoy it too. It's so much mental, as you guys know, as it is physical. And when you start to mentally feel so bogged down with things, you have to reassess a little bit, because it's fun.
It's supposed
I'm
to be
not
fun.
a pro athlete. I do this because I love it. It keeps me healthy. And when it starts to not be fun anymore, I have to sit back and say, okay, what do I need to adjust here?
That's great.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
Ian, do we have anything as far as like what's on the schedule coming up for her next? Question?
No,
Okay.
I know Renee's been back and forth between doing aquabike and triathlon and back and forth, somewhat due to injury, somewhat due to time. And I know she had qualified for Ponte Vedra this year, but didn't go because she had other competing demands. Are you going to do Miami Man again this year in November?
I sure am. I'm hoping to. So that was a big disappointment for me, not doing Spain this year. But again, that's how life rolls. I lost my stepdad this year, and it's been a really challenging year, and I'm trying to find my focus again. I did suffer from a very bad back injury in 2017. Took me about 8 months to recover through physical therapy. That's when I started swimming and biking, and somebody recommended that I compete in the aquabike national championships. I'd never even considered it, and I signed up and I did it, and that's when I qualified for Denmark in the aquabike. I have since been working on my run. It's really my therapy, my favorite. So I'm trying to be smart about it and getting it back. But my goal absolutely is to get back to triathlon. And so I did sign up for Atlantic City 70.3 in September. And I also got into the New York City Marathon in November. So this is it. It's time to get it back. So those are my big ones for this year. I'm gonna try and be smart about coming back into it. And I believe Nationals is 1 week after New York City Marathon.
Wow.
So I've gone back and forth with that one, and I think looking at it realistically, I would have to sign up for the aquabike and that and see. I don't think I could do the 70.3 there a week after New York. So I think I will sign up for the aquabike for fun and go to it again, and maybe we can take a trip next year.
Well,
are you going to be there yet?
2020 Miami Man is a qualifier for ITU Long Course Worlds in Australia.
We should do it.
That's what I'm targeting based on wherever I get sent after after 2019.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I won't be at Miami Man this year. It's a long trip from Africa, so yeah.
We'll leave that at that. He's a bit sore about that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, Renee, thank you very much for coming on. We're
thank
so
you so
glad
much.
we had you today. Like I told everybody, she's always a ray of sunshine for those of us from Key West. And if you see her on a race course, she'll always be smiling. She'll always be having a good time. Even if she's crushing your soul, or vice versa, she'll always have a good word for you. So, look for the SOAS and Base kits out there.
Absolutely. And look for Base Nutrition on all the Ironman courses. That's another. Yeah, it's unique. It's the first company to have 3 unique products on the Ironman course. So proud of them for that, for sure.
Absolutely. One thing doesn't solve all the issues. All right, maybe you can give a couple links to your sponsors and maybe where athletes or our athletes could find you online.
Oh, sure. SOASracing.com is SOAS website. They're also on Instagram and Facebook under SOAS Racing. and baseperformance.com, and Base Performance on Instagram and Facebook. So they keep it pretty easy to find them for sure. I'm Makimaa05 on Instagram and Renee Guy at Makimaa on Facebook.
There you go. Sounds good. It sounds very, very official, very official. If you have any other questions, any follow-up questions for Renee, definitely post in the comments. We'll see if we can get them pointed her way and maybe get those questions answered. From the coaches, was there anything else before we do our sign out here?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, and also for the raw parts, and when you talk about challenges that have made you stronger and kinder at the same time, because I think we all think that when we hit an obstacle, we should be harder and tougher and even more judgmental, but actually it seems to come across that the skills that we learn there when we're face down with it all actually make us wholer and stronger in the long run, and that really shines through your message. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
She's normally mean. She's normally mean. She's normally mean. She's putting on a show to be nice here.
I don't believe him. I hope you know that.
We only believe him part of the time anyway.
I never know what to get with Ian. So today I'm mean, but another day I'm a tree hugger. So
He's a mean tree hugger, Andrea. That's what you are.
Yep, I squeeze them down.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Well,
thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
You've definitely been an inspiration. Absolutely. All right. I want to thank everybody for joining us here in the Coach's Corner today. And if you like what you hear, and we would love it if you share with your friends. And if you have a question you would like to be interested in hearing us talk about more, send it over to coaches@endurancelab.fit. Don't forget, you could also follow us at Endurance Lab on Facebook or on Instagram at The Endurance Lab and online at www.endurancelab.fit. We'll see everybody next episode. Have a great day.
Bye.